World Rally Championship 6, the sequel to WRC 5, which was pretty well liked, but also received some pretty harsh criticism at times, which the developers have said they are taking on board in an attempt to make WRC 6 an experience that takes the franchise to a new level. Which is good because the esports WRC launched this year with WRC 5, and to have a universally acclaimed version of the game out would really help them out a lot. As you can see, the game looks gorgeous, and as far as rally action goes, I'm pretty optimistic. WRC 6 is hitting in October for PS4, Xbox One, and PC on Steam. Moto Racer 4, which has not seen an entry to the franchise since 2002. It was sometimes a little bit unpolished though, especially in the game's interface. If you remember that, it was a problem. But the game itself was a lot of fun, and I remember it fondly. And beyond looking great, it's hitting October 16th on Windows, Mac, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4 with VR capabilities. On Drive is something completely different than the couple of other games we've covered so far. It's somewhere between Sonic Dash, a rhythm game, and a racing game, and is being described as a slick retro-futuristic 80s-inspired arcade game, and it nails everything it's going for. It's truly, really cool. The graphics, as you can see, are a beautiful cavalcade of neon, color, and shapes. The game is really fun. I've played it. It came out in May, and while it's not a traditional racing game, it's going to be something that gets your blood pumping, and the soundtrack is awesome. You can get it on PC and Mac on Steam, and also on iOS. Turbo is kind of a combination of a bunch of different arcade elements from various racing games over the years, and hit very hard with a track editor that allows you to do a ton of crazy stuff. The tracks it comes with, which number past 200, are often zero gravity thanks to magnetic tracks that can make the game feel somewhat like a roller coaster, albeit one that you have to control. The graphics aren't what you would call photorealistic, but I don't think it's going for that either. It's very fun. It's a little bit casual, but not in the way that you're gonna be like, I don't want to play this, it's too simple. TrackMania Turbo is out on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Ride 2, what a lot of people called Gran Turismo for bikes, as in a much more realistic racing game that was hailed for its sound design, is back with a game that attempts to tackle some of the issues from the first game, including the load times. As far as the handling, they've claimed to tighten it up just a little bit. It's not that it really needed a lot in the handling department, and is actually, for a simulation game, very accessible to a player who hasn't played it, and is aiming to be the most complete virtual riding experience ever. We'll find out if they deliver on that for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows on the 7th of October. Drive Club VR, which is an updated version of the social-oriented racing game that did receive a few mixed reviews, but the people who like Drive Club really like Drive Club. It has a very dedicated fan base. The updated VR version is going to be launching with the PSVR and is going to include several new tracks, which, when you consider that Drive Club does have very solid controls, should be great for VR. Drive Club VR is a PlayStation exclusive and launches on October 13th alongside PSVR. Dirt Rally, the off-road racing simulation developed by Codemasters that is really getting great feedback across the board. I got to play it a month or two ago, and when people say it's one of the best rally simulations out there, it is. It's just the right balance of hardcore mechanics as well as just fun gameplay. It's not just a simulator, it's a game. And it's a good game. And it's a pretty game. It also really runs well on consoles, with the PS4 version actually running 1080p 60 frames per second constantly. Dirt Rally is out now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. F1 2016, which looks to really ramp up a little bit of the simulation element compared to last year's title, which was looked at as maybe a little bit too casual. In some cases, a little bit too streamlined. We're getting a little bit of the detail back in F1 2016, including a good career mode and some things that some may deem very simulation. It looks very pretty as well and comes out for PS4, Xbox One, and Windows on August 19th. Forza Horizon 3, which is an open-world racing game, and the third in the Horizon series that incorporates the great gameplay from Forza with an open-world concept. Forza is Microsoft's premier racing franchise and sold a lot of Xbox Ones when it came out. Considering the detail they managed to put out in an open-world racing game in Forza Horizon 2 on a console, there's no reason not to get excited about Forza Horizon 3. It's coming out exclusively for Xbox One and Microsoft Windows on September 27th. Gran Turismo Sport, probably the most anticipated racing game of the generation. Gran Turismo Sport looks like it improves upon the graphics of Gran Turismo 6 in a way that I didn't really think was possible, because Gran Turismo 6 is a gorgeous game. But we're starting to border on photorealism, like real photorealism, not like we saw this and we thought it looked better than everything we've seen before. Like, it's starting to look like real. And on top of that, you're going to have all of the great Gran Turismo handling, because they started with the physics engine of Gran Turismo 6 and worked out from there. Gran Turismo Sport is a PlayStation exclusive and hits November 15th, 2016.